We all know and love Thailand, right? The land is smiles. It's one of those places that's on pretty much everyone's bucket list. But what happens when a place like that, a place that thrives on tourism, suddenly has to shut its doors to the world? Well, for Thailand, it wasn't just about surviving. It became this incredible opportunity to hit the reset button and completely reinvent itself for the future. So let's dive into how they're pulling it off. And really, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you take a destination that's already world famous and start over? We're not just talking about getting back to normal here. This is about building something totally new from the ground up, something smarter, greener, and way more sustainable. So, what's the game plan? Look, let's be real. The pandemic was absolutely brutal for a country so dependent on travel. But, and this is the key part, it also acted as this massive catalyst. It was like the world hit pause, giving them a chance to look in the mirror and say, okay, what we were doing before, maybe it wasn't perfect. It forced a total rethink, a move away from just packing in as many people as possible and towards something much more thoughtful and built to last. And that brings us to this brand new chapter for their tourism industry. And when we say vital, we mean vital. Just think about this. Before all this, tourism was a whopping 10% of Thailand's entire GDP. That's huge. So reinventing this industry, it's not just some fancy project. It's an absolute economic necessity for literally millions of people. All right, so what's the big plan? Well, it's all laid out in a new national strategy they're calling Thailand 5.0. And the core idea, the heart of this whole thing, is something called sustainable smart tourism. Now, when you hear smart tourism, your mind might go straight to, futuristic robots and flashy apps. And yeah, there's some of that. But it's so much more than just gadgets. It's a whole new philosophy. It's about using technology and data in a clever way to make your trip better, to help manage these amazing destinations more efficiently, and, this is crucial, to make sure everyone benefits, from the tourist all the way down to the local shop owner. Okay, so the whole strategy really boils down to three main pillars. Think of it like a three-legged stool. First, you've got smart technology, using things like AI and data to make your travel experience totally seamless. Second, green sustainability, because let's face it, Thailand's natural beauty is its crown jewel, and you've got to protect it. And third, a big focus on community and culture, making sure that tourism actually helps local people and keeps that authentic Thai spirit alive. Okay, that all sounds great on paper, right? But what does it actually mean for you, the traveler? What's a trip gonna look like in this new, smarter Thailand? Well, let's paint a picture. Imagine you're planning your trip. An AI-powered app creates the perfect itinerary just for you, based on your budget and what you're into. When you land, you just breeze through the airport and your hotel with contactless check-ins. No more long lines. Need to get around? Just hop on an electric scooter you found on an app. And the best part? You're getting real-time info on your phone, like, hey, that temple is super crowded right now, but here's a hidden gem just around the corner. That's the kind of seamless experience they're aiming for. And it doesn't stop there. This whole revolution goes right into your hotel. Seriously, we're talking about AI and robots, handling check-in, maybe even bringing you room service. And behind the scenes, they're managing all the supplies, making sure everything runs super efficiently. It's pretty wild. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just about efficiency. They're even looking at integrating wellness tech directly into your hotel stay. Get this, they're planning to test technology that can actually track your sleep and help you change bad habits, all while you're on vacation. Imagine that. Okay, so this vision is incredibly ambitious, right? But let's be real, pulling something like this off is never easy. There's some pretty big hurdles they have to overcome, so let's talk about the reality check. The biggest challenge is this giant gap between the vision and where things are right now. For example, the dream is this perfectly connected data system where everything talks to everything else. The reality? A bunch of separate systems that don't communicate. The goal is for technology to lift up all businesses, big and small. The reality? A huge digital divide where tons of small businesses are getting left behind. And maybe the biggest one, they want to attract high-value, sustainable tourism. But the reality for years has been a dependence on lots of low-spending, short-term visitors. And that digital divide, it's a really serious problem. Right now, it's basically a coin flip. Only about half of the small businesses in the country can actually use this kind of tech. If they can't fix that, this amazing plan could end up creating a two-speed economy where the big players get all the benefits and the small, family-run places get left in the dust. And check out this number, because it is staggering. Of the 38 million people who visited before the pandemic, a full 40% were low-spending tourists who probably weren't going to come back anyway. Changing that dynamic is a monumental task. It means completely shifting focus away from just getting more and more bodies through the door and instead focusing on quality over quantity, people who stay longer and really engage with the local economy. There's another risk here, and it's a big one. It's about the soul of the country. When you start to modernize and package everything for tourists, you run the risk of turning authentic, beautiful Thai culture into, well, a rehearsed show, something that loses its realness. It's an incredibly delicate balancing act. How do you share your culture with the world without accidentally destroying the very thing that makes it so special? So, okay, the challenges are real, but despite all that, what's the end game here? If they pull this off, what does success for Thailand 5.0 actually look like? Really, it all comes down to building a tourism industry that's not just profitable, but is also inclusive, efficient, and resilient. One that uses tech to make things smooth, but also makes sure local communities are thriving. One that's strong enough to handle whatever the future throws at it. That's the ultimate goal, a truly sustainable future for the Land of Smiles. And that really leaves us with one final big question. As the whole world kind of rethinks what it means to travel, could what's happening in Thailand be more than just a plan for one country? Could this actually be the blueprint for the future of travel everywhere? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but you can bet the rest of the world is watching very, very closely.